I want to focus mainly on how I came to my political awareness. And it all started when I was just a little kid. I grew up in an abusive household. My father was abusive towards my mother. And even though he wasn't beating me up, I feel that if you're in an abusive household and you survive that, you're an abuse survivor. You're a domestic abuse survivor. Because abuse, whether you're getting hit or just viewing it or just experiencing all the anger and the destruction that happens when you're in that kind of household, it affects you, and it affects you for life. So Violence Girl, for me, writing that was a way to deal with things that I hadn't had the time to really deal with, and I didn't want to deal with. So my father, because my father was so abusive, any time that he had something to say, everybody in the family just, listened and followed directions, and nobody contradicted him because we were kind of scared that he would, kill us. But there were a few people in my life that would stand up to him, and that, I have memories of an aunt who would stand up and challenge him, or every now and then there were women who challenged him. And it gave me so much pleasure to see women standing up to my father that I think it formed the seeds of my feminism. Seeing anybody challenge the patriarch was hugely satisfying to me. And it's been that way my whole life. So from those early years when I was a little kid until this Saturday when we're all marching together, it's all tied in. But I also have, aside from being in touch with my feminism, I also am in touch with other parts of my identity. And one thing that I want to read to you tonight is a story of growing up in East LA and going to a march that happened in 1970. It was called the Chicano Moratorium. And I don't know how many Chicanos are in the house tonight, but even if you're not Chicano, I think you'll be able to relate to the way people of color are treated in situations where they're demonstrating. So, without further ado, I'm going to read from my first book, Violence Girl. Late in the summer of 1970, just as my summer vacation was coming to an end, the National Chicano Moratorium Committee organized a huge march through the streets of East LA to protest the war in Vietnam, the many Chicano soldiers who were being drafted and sent overseas to fight it, and the higher than average mortality rate among Chicano soldiers. My father never liked the term Chicano because he believed the word was derived from a derogatory term used when he was young and working as a bracero. He was fairly cynical about politics and didn't usually get involved in political demonstrations. This time, however, he surprised us by volunteering to take us to the march. We parked our car near the 710 freeway, just a couple of blocks away from Whittier Boulevard, where the march was already underway. We walked up the street and were able to find a spot where my sister and I could see. I think we were expecting a parade, but there were just a lot of everyday-looking people, mothers, fathers, kids, students with signs and crosses to symbolize fallen soldiers, their fists pumping in the air, some chanting Chicano, while the onlookers would yell back, power. I remember being most impressed by the brown berets and being totally dazzled by their coolness. They had a paramilitary look with boots and uniforms, and even had some female members. After a while, my sister and I begged to join the march, but my father was looking uneasy. The crowd was swelling, and we found ourselves being pushed even further back. My father, sensing something was wrong, pushed us back again. To my surprise, we saw police cars parked along the side streets. Not 10 minutes had passed from when my father had forbidden our participation, then we saw a young man throw a bottle toward the marchers, then quickly run and disappear into the crowd. There was no one following him, but we could see a wave of people push back as he shoved his way through the crowd. I couldn't see where the bottle had landed, but I did see the results. Suddenly, people were shoving and yelling. More projectiles flew through the air. One hit the roof of the police car. Pandemonium broke out. People pushed in all directions, trying to get away from the volatile situation. And then, just as suddenly as it had started, it ended as the attackers fled on foot through the crowded sidewalks. A few cool heads tried to calm people down and reorganize the marchers, but my father rushed back to our car and drove away. As I watched out the car window, I could see the policemen on their radios calling for backup. I thought they might be waiting until things stopped flying through the air before stepping in, but they didn't seem too concerned with catching the people who had thrown the bottles. I could see parents holding their children's hands, trying to stand their ground as we turned the corner and sped away from danger. At home, we watched the news on TV and heard that a riot had broken out when a bottle had been thrown at a police officer. From my perspective, it had been a minor altercation and the police had made no attempt to catch the individuals who had been throwing bottles in the first place. A reporter named Ruben Salazar, who was favorably disposed toward the Chicano movement and had been an outspoken critic of police brutality, had been shot and killed by a deputy sheriff. The riot squad had been called in to clear out the demonstrators using tear gas and batons, resulting in dozens of injuries and 3 deaths. I remembered the worried faces of those parents clutching the hands of their small children as we drove away to safety. I couldn't believe that what had started off as a peaceful march protesting a war halfway around the world had turned out to be so ugly. I will never forget that day, March 29, 1970, for 2 reasons. One was that I had never before realized that I was part of a minority group. I felt good about being part of something as powerful as the Chicano movement. The other was the understanding that this group had enemies who weren't afraid to throw bottles at us or shoot us. Throughout my early childhood, policemen had been the knights in shining armor who had rescued my mother from my father's vicious attacks. In my eyes, they had always lived up to their motto, to protect and serve. That day, I saw the knights like the other people in my life. Their capacity for good was matched by their capacity for evil. And I'm going to stop here.